Studio Chess. Welcome to Think, Design, Provoke, the podcast, an intimate space where every week you receive inspiration about the fascinating world of interior design and all the benefits and effects in your lifestyle. My name is Francesca, and we will create meaningful conversations to unveil the enigmatic perception of interior design as a discipline that simply focuses on aesthetics. We will expose everything from interiors to its relationship to architecture, surroundings, history, and culture. We will challenge the misconception of interior spaces confined in architectural boundaries. We will understand that interior spaces provide the setting for human activity and are created to fulfill human desires and needs, where sensory pleasures and engagement are celebrated. That is the built environment, the connection between individuals, physical spaces, experience, emotions, and its social consequences. I am your host, and I invite you to join the design conversations that will elevate your consciousness about interiors. Consciousness that will embrace the beautiful possibilities of manifesting all your senses in your space. Hello. Welcome to episode 5 of Think, Design, Provoke, the podcast. I am back and very happy to be here with you on another Friday of valuable design conversations. As you know, I was sick last week with a cold. It seems like the drastic change of weather from very hot to very cold affected me. I am still recovering, but I feel much better this week. Thank you for your messages and for your continuous support. I am honored. I am thrilled to have you as my loyal listener each week. So thank you for tuning in with me to create this intimate space between us. This podcast is presented by Studio Chess Interior Architecture Design Studio. In this 5th episode, we are going to converse about the relationship of color schemes and light in interior spaces. We are going to get a lot more technical today, so buckle up and let's dive in. There are 5 common methods of using color, and these are applicable regardless of the specific hues employed. Maybe you are familiar with these color schemes terms: monochromatic, analogous, complementary, triad, and tetrad. And I'm going to add a 6th one: achromatic. A monochromatic color scheme employs one hue with variations only in intensity and value. Although monochromatic systems are fairly easy to develop and almost always work, they can become monotonous if used in an area that is occupied continuously. A monotone scheme is a variation of this type, but it consists of only a single hue of low intensity, near gray, in one or a very limited range of values. It is best used where a neutral background is needed for other activities, as in an art gallery, for example, where the space should not compete with the artwork. Analogous color schemes use hues that are close to each other on the color wheel. Remember that we briefly chatted about the color theory Isaac Newton established with the color wheel? Well, now it is going to make more sense to you. Have you seen a color wheel before? If you haven't, feel free to search it online to get more familiar with this tool. Or even better, have a physical color wheel with you. It is a useful tool and very handy to play with color coordination. An analogous color scheme might include such combinations as one primary color, red, yellow, blue, one secondary, orange, green, violet, and the tertiary between them, yellow-orange, yellow-green, red-violet, for example, or one primary and one secondary with the colors on either side of them. In most cases, analogous systems work best if one color is dominant and the others are subordinate. Together, they look aesthetically pleasing because it creates a seamless flow that is easy on the eyes. When hues on opposite sides of the color wheel are used, it is called a complementary color scheme. Because complementary hues can be harsh and intense when viewed together, large areas of colors are generally of low chroma or grayer and are a tint or a shade of the color. Smaller areas or accents can have a higher chroma. One variation of this scheme is a split complementary in which a color on one side of the color wheel is used with two hues that lie on either side of the complementary color. A similar variation is the double complementary in which four hues are used. A pair on either side of two complements. In either case, one color should be dominant and used at low levels of chroma. A triad color scheme uses three colors equally spaced around the color wheel, such as yellow-orange, blue-green, and red-violet. Because of the potential for producing a confusing, glaring appearance, triad schemes like complementary schemes employ low chroma tints or shades except for possibly one intense color that is used as an accent. A tetrad color scheme uses four colors that are equally spaced around the color wheel. Tetrad schemes are difficult to do well because a wide range of color is used. As with triad and complementary schemes, one or two colors should dominate and be of lower chroma. Finally, a chromatic scheme is one that possesses no hue, meaning without color, made up of only black, white, and gray. I see this mistake all the time. I have heard repeatedly if a space is all black, all gray, or all white, people refer to it as a monochromatic scheme. Maybe you have said the same thing as well. Even in fashion design, I have heard the same statement. If a person is dressed all black, they refer to it as all monochromatic. That is incorrect. Black, white, and gray are achromatic colors because they lack hues. They have lightness but no hue or saturation. Achromatic spaces can be elegant, dramatic, clean, or fresh depending on which of the three options is applied, even if the three options are beautifully combined. I know color theory can be overwhelming, and the purpose here is not for you to become an expert colorist, but it is important to understand the why behind a color decision. When you experience very beautiful color applications in your environment where you feel good, understand that every decision made to make you feel good was thought out through a color theory process. Also, when color is considered as one of the important design elements to celebrate a space, it's not always conveyed through wall painting applications. There are so many ways to apply color to an interior space. Sure, through wall painting is the basic option, but it is also done through materiality like fabrics, general textiles, tiles installation, countertops, flooring, artwork, design objects, cabinetry, architectural elements, and light. Light is another basic element to interior design. It is the means by which all other aspects of the environment are seen, and it strongly affects how space and objects are perceived. The same space can be made to take on many different appearances simply by changing how it is illuminated. Because of this, lighting is a powerful design tool. Aside from illuminating indoors and outdoors, light allows us to perceive color. One of the most important aspects of color interaction is how light affects the appearance of it. Without light, everything will be black. Sunlight or daylight is the most important form of lighting. Increasing the amount of natural light is vital for healthy spaces. It reduces eye strain and fatigue, which leads to increased concentration and focus and also reduces stress levels. Artificial light is what we use when natural light is available in limited amounts. Even though the human eye often perceives all light as white, each light source carries some colors more than others. For instance, incandescent light is very yellow, while midday sunlight is predominantly blue. Cool white fluorescent lamps have a large blue and green component, and warm white fluorescent lamps have a higher yellow and orange spectral distribution. In general, light that has a particularly strong hue component will intensify colors with similar hues and neutralize colors of complementary hues. For example, a red object seen under incandescent light will appear red and vibrant, while a blue object of the same value will appear washed out and muddy. The same blue object, however, will be rendered closer to its actual color if seen under midday light or under a cool white fluorescent light. Because of this fact, color selections should be made under the same type of lighting that is going to exist in the final interior installation. The amount of light also affects color. Dim lighting reduces a color's value and diminishes its hue. High lighting levels can either intensify the hue or make the color appear washed out. Like all other aspects of interior design, a single color does not exist in isolation. It affects and is affected by surrounding colors and by the color of light striking it. There are many specific examples of how two colors affect each other when seen together. A color placed against a darker background will appear lighter than it is, while a color against a lighter background will appear darker than it actually is. When identical values are placed against two contrasting backgrounds, light and dark, it causes one to appear lighter than the other, which is known as simultaneous contrast. Lighting plays a crucial role in shaping the look and feel of a room, while it can also affect mood, comfort, and safety. Lighting and color, alongside other elements of design, are used to create a cohesive and visually appealing space. Let me take you on a little journey here. One of my favorite restaurants in New York City was Morimoto, located in the Meatpacking District in Chelsea. This piece of art was designed by Japanese architect Tadao Ando. Oh my gosh! Not only the Japanese culinary experience was exhilarating and exquisite, but the ambience of this place was stunning. One of the main design features of the restaurant was a two-story high freestanding water wall created from 17,400 half-liter plastic bottles filled with mineral water and screwed into electric socket-like couplers. LED point lights were integrated into the structure to backlight the bottles and create a shimmery effect. The vibrant light and colors exuded from the feature wall was dynamic and gorgeous. It was the focal point and a stunner with eco-friendly capabilities. The color palette was muted overall, and the interior as a whole was carefully lit with artificial lights with zero interaction of natural light on purpose. Different light colors were used throughout the different light installations, giving a theatrical atmosphere to the experience. Lighting interventions from above, on the floor, and under cabinet generated a well-curated explosion of light and shadows. I am focusing only in color and light, but I could be here for days chatting with you about the design concept and all the parts and pieces of one of the most incredible interiors I have ever experienced in my life. Seriously, it was a show, a magnificent one. The space was so beautiful that I never wanted to leave. I spent hours in that place, and what do you think happened? I spent money because I continue ordering food, drinks, desserts, and I didn't want the experience to end. That is the power of design, engaging the inhabitant with the purpose of the space. Now the sad part. Morimoto in Chelsea was closed 4 years ago. Oh my gosh, I cried. But oh well, things happen in business. Okay, as I mentioned before, lighting is crucial for the look and feel of a space, and there are different types of lighting that lead the way. Ambient lighting, also known as general lighting, is meant to illuminate a whole room by providing a uniform illumination level throughout the room. This type of lighting works independently from other types of lighting, managing to provide enough light without additional light sources. This type of lighting bounces off the walls and illuminates the maximum amount of space possible. Some of the most common types of light fixtures that provide ambient lighting are chandeliers, ceiling-mounted fixtures, wall-mounted fixtures, recessed fixtures, track lights, floor lamps, and table lamps. Most often, ambient lighting is best around 2700 and 3000 Kelvin temperature scale. Bright, high-intensity light can be energizing and uplifting, while low-intensity light can be calming and soothing. Task lighting has its own purpose. While ambient lighting provides light for general space, task lighting is focused on a specific area for a particular task. This type of lighting works as an alternative light source, designed to provide a smaller focal point and focus light on an area. Task lighting is used in helping a person to perform a task like reading, working, or cooking. Because of its function, task lighting is best around 5000 Kelvin temperature scale for a clear, illuminating working space, which is energizing and stimulating, improving productivity. The selection of cooler color temperature beginning with 4000 Kelvin cool white, 5000 Kelvin daylight and above provide a clean and crisp lighting for high precision work. The primary use of accent lighting is to accentuate something. It could be a stair, a design feature, a garden, an artwork, and so on. And its purpose is to draw your eyes to that something. Usually is not used alone and is combined with ambient lighting. This type of lighting can give the impression of a larger space when used correctly. Accent lighting can vary in intensity but can be neutral light and go somewhere in the middle on the temperature scale. Some of the most common types of light fixtures that provide accent lighting are slimline bars, under cabinet, and directional recessed fixtures, among others. Like color, good lighting is an art as well as a science. Because light has both a psychological and emotional effect on people, it is simply not enough to provide a sufficient quantity of light. Light fixtures create a statement that complements the style and the design intent of an interior space. They are important for the visual aspect of the room. However, it's the quality of light that provides the spectral distribution, intensity, form, color, direction, and movement to the environment. Both the light source and its effect should be considered as design elements. Because lighting is both an art and a science, a good lighting scheme requires a combination of technical and aesthetic sensibilities. Good lighting design can set or enhance the mood of the interior space and give added interest to the visual environment, as well as accent and emphasize objects and areas. It can also de-emphasize undesirable areas or architectural features. It can highlight surfaces and textures, affect spatial perception, and of course, enhance color. I know it is a lot of information. But again, my intention is not for you to become an expert. My intention here is to provide you with valuable design information that increases your consciousness about what you see and feel in interiors all the time, whether you are aware about its effects in you or not. I am sure after our conversations, you will be more alert about your experiences in interior spaces. Yes? So, if you feel identified and connected with this podcast, please join the design conversations and invite your friends and family to be part of our community. I will be here every Friday to chat with you about interesting topics within the fascinating interior design world. On the next episode, I will talk with you about textures, patterns, and its contribution to interior spaces. I want to take a moment to say hello and thank you to Rafi from Puerto Rico for his message through Instagram requesting information about color to make the best decision for his home. Rafi, thank you for reaching out. I really hope you find value in both episodes about color and the relationship of color schemes and light in interior spaces. I really enjoy receiving your message and request. Like Rafi, if there is a specific topic that you want me to discuss, or if you have any questions, please feel free to DM me through Instagram or Facebook. Also, you can send me an email at thinkdesignprovoke@gmail.com. Please follow me on my social media platforms at Studio Chess to continue the design conversation. In the episode notes, I am including the contact links for your reference. If you find value in this content, please share this episode in your social media or chats, and remember to leave me a review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite audio platform. Thank you for your attention and for being on the other side. It is my absolute pleasure to be here with you. I'll chat with you next Friday, and remember, everything in the built environment is by design, and you are part of it. Merry Christmas! Ciao, ciao!